If your main monitor is as greasy as mine from being effectively used as a second monitor, this game might be just what you're looking for. In Hearth and Hamlet, we will be building up a sprawling city all the way from a small camp, balancing things like food, wood, stone and other resources to keep our villages happy and productive. Game features a gorgeous pixel art style and large amount of different unlockable and upgradable buildings to construct. I've been really enjoying this. Put it on a second monitor, just like this video, while you play other things or watch other videos, and I'm sure this might be down your alleyway. Hearth and Hamlet finds this sweet spot between cozy games and idle games. Recently we've had a lot of action-packed idle games and incremental games. I usually find myself more intrigued by these cozy base building sort of games when it comes to these incremental idle games. So we're gonna jump in today, we're gonna play a little bit, I'm gonna show what the game is all about, and hopefully by the end of this you will know exactly what you would like to do with the links that you will find in the description down below. And we find ourselves right here. They have these little small animations kind of telling a story, which it's cute. It doesn't take up too much of your screen is real estate. It's not really something you have to pay attention to, but gives it a little bit of character. So our first mission is to set up camp. Long ago, 3 siblings gathered the scattered remains of their lives and fled, chasing the promise of a brighter tomorrow. After a long and dangerous journey, the group discovered a tranquil location, where they decided to set up camp and rest. I don't know if the lady is pregnant or something. Not sure. It's gonna be a lot of pregnant people in this game though. We need workers. So, here we are. Click and hold the mouse to harvest resources. Nothing new here. We're getting wood faster than we've ever seen before. We have a quest log as well. This is more or less what we just saw. They are telling us just set up camp, and we can see the little cutscene or the little animation again if we would like to do that, but you're not required to do so. So that's pretty good. The camp we have right here, to build that we need 50 wood, and that will give us a reward of a small tent and a cozy fire. It has been a long journey, but you have found the perfect spot. It's time to set up your camp. And so we will. Bottom left-hand corner, we have a little bit of UI goodness as well. So actual workers available. Total amount of population. We're only 1 person, even though the animation clearly says we have 3 at least, and a dog. I don't know where the dog is. Where's the dog, video game? Come on now. We have some housing capacity, which is currently 0 because they ain't got nowhere to live. Food security, so how much food do we have compared to how much we are producing? Currently we are producing 0 food, and we are using 0.2 food. So we can survive a little bit longer, but should probably get some food going in some point here. And then we can see our happiness as well. So that will be our main actions. In the top you can also see our resources. So let's get the 50 wood here as soon as possible. We're gonna have a shopping contest, and the one who wins gets to build a camp. I win. So let's upgrade that. Get a nice little cut in here. So this location seemed to have everything. Fresh running water, fertile soil, there. Wow. Fertile soil, and not a monster in sight. It was an easy decision to stay longer. Improve your campsite is our next mission. So they don't actually force you to... It's not super linear, which I like. Kind of just more and more open up the game, and you get to go in whatever direction you want to, which is super nice. Here you can see how many spare workers you have. So we would like to put a worker to work on the wood. And you can see you now have 1 spare worker. Assign them to the wood production. Next up, they want us to improve our campsite. We do that right here. So next up we need 60 wood. He is slowly gaining wood for us down here. You can see it also goes up in our resources. So let's get to 60 wood and expand our campsite. Map itself is fairly decently sized. Looking at the cutscenes on the Steam page and the thumbnails, it's quite clear that the game can expand to quite a large extent. We're in the demo right here, so I'm not sure how far we will be able to go, but definitely seems to be a decent amount of content. I played about an hour before I started this video, just for me to kind of familiarize myself with the game and know if it's something that I would like to show off for you guys. So, for the next upgrade, we're gonna unlock fishing. That sounds like a great way to make food. Gather food and expand your camp. Before long, the campsite was much more comfortable, but more refugees were on their way, and there wasn't enough food for everyone, unfortunately. Fortunately, the nearby river was teeming with fish. We're having salmon and trout for dinner, apparently. And the woods to the north were abundant with game. Very good. Gather food and expand our camp. Keep an eye out for green arrows like this. So, how this works with our workers. You can see we have no workers here. And to get more workers, we will have to grow our population with 3 new people. And our population growth is directly dependent on our food security, which means the more food we have in storage, the more people will actually move in again. This has nothing to do with your production, it's strictly how much food you have in storage. And eventually you'll just have enough food for you to get even more workers. So you can see now we have a medium food bonus and we're getting 0.6 population per minute, which means that, quick math, something like 6 minutes to get another worker, but we only have place for 4 housing, so that's not going to really help us. Instead, what could we do? Well, we could upgrade our camp again. That's kind of the only thing we can do now. And it costs us 80 out of each, and we have both. So I'm gonna keep grinding on this fish a little bit, just so we can keep our food stocks where they would like to be. If we hover over, we can see that we can hold 250. So if we get close to that, we should still remain with our food bonus. And before you know it, we have hit the storage limit. So I guess it's time for us to level up. We only have high bonus and we should be getting 1 more person. There, it just ticked over to 4 people. We have now hit the housing capacity, so we are completely full on housing. Which means it's time to upgrade our camp, which will give us the woodcutter's hut and the fisherman's hut for 80 out of both food and wood. And that also gave us some more personnel that will move in with us. Unwilling to turn anyone away, the growing campsite quickly filled. We needed more wood and food to expand it. It's a little bit of a kind of cutesy tale to it, which I really like. Ensure your food supply doesn't run out. We will. We will. We're gonna get more food and wood, build a fisherman and a woodcutter's hut. So here already we get to select in which direction we want to go. We can focus on wood or we can focus on food. I will be focusing on food simply for the reason that building this will allow us to make more workers. So we're gonna put workers to work right here, and then we are going to, as soon as we can, build up our fishing hut. This is also when we first get access to research. Actually a lot of research available. So you might think that, oh, it's just these, right? So each of these have their own and you can flip through them, but you also have one on the downside. And all of these have their own tabs. So each of these represents one building. So we have one for fishing right here, for example, where we need to get different requirements to unlock each of them. Same thing for the wood production. We have one for stone production and one for almost all of the buildings that we can build so far, which is really cool. So we're gonna keep making food. Hopefully can build our fishing hut here very soon. I like the animation in this game as well. It's really nice to see people walking around and just, even in this small amount of village size, we have a lot of activity going on with this guy moving around, and we can see flowers blowing in the wind a little bit, and this guy standing here fishing. We should have a woodcutter somewhere. He's probably up here now. Yes, right here, because we are having the lumber station available to us. So there's a lot of things going on in the city, and I really like that. So we're gonna have to upgrade our food production right here. So Fisherman's Hut will provide us with +1 in base productivity, so it will improve the amount that we are producing. We can put 2 more fishermen's to work, which means that if we get enough workers here, eventually the workers will get to a limit. I think right now it's on 5, but I could be wrong about that. Something that I wish they maybe told us a little bit easier is where are our limit right now before we have unlocked all of the different unlocks and things like that. But we're gonna upgrade this right now, and that will give us 2 more places to put workers if we need to, and it also gives us a little bit more housing capacity. It will also unlock our first research point. So these unlocks, but you still have to pay for them to actually be available to be used, so to say. Just building that gave us another 1,000 in storage, so we're still good when it comes to that, which is a good thing, I would say. And we also are working on our wood here next, but we need to still get even more food. Food is always the main priority in these sort of games. Right, we're getting closer to 1,000 food here, so time to start focusing on a few other things to actually unlock our research right here. We need stone as well. So we have the wood, we have the food, but we do need stone. So to get stone, we're gonna have to keep progressing. And we can do either go with the camp and go directly and actually unlock stone tavern and wood cabin, which means we don't actually have to build the lumber camp before we do that. So I think we're gonna do that. Let's go with the camp. Let's unlock the stone production first. We can deal with wood when we are in need of it. And from here we can add workers to the stone as well and keep adding even more workers to our fishing production. With that, we also unlocked the public house. This is our tavern-ish building. We don't have the money for that right now, but it will provide us with some more happiness bonus and a place for our community to gather in. Also unlocks a little bit more of the social services, so churches and actual housing itself. Also have the chef's house. This is where we will be able to do upgrades to our own abilities. So when we are holding in buttons, we can make it so that we are making more production out of each click. You don't actually have to click. I'm just holding the button. Thank you very much for that, developers. Much appreciated. And our food is now up to a storage limit of 3,200. We are still at a good amount of wood and a good amount of stone as well. So, yeah, going pretty well. Still need to get some more housing going here. I wonder if the public house then maybe is our best choice here next. So let's help out the stone production here. As long as we don't have enough workers, I usually don't find it too valuable to upgrade at this point. So we're just gonna help them out with our own clicking for now. And we're coming up on the 450 wood that we need here very, very shortly. So it seems like food is the only one that you actually need to keep a bit of a buffer on. When it comes to wood and stone, you can kind of use it up as much as you need. Because it doesn't seem like that ties into happiness or anything like that. And it doesn't really have a consumption at all either. It's only wood that's actively consuming in any way. So let's get our public house built. And there we go. So we now have a public house available, which gives us access to things like the shop, for example. So we can buy from 280 food. We can buy 10% happiness for 120 seconds. So 2 minutes of really happy workers. So far, happiness doesn't seem to have a super high impact. It increases our production slightly. But I imagine if you keep stacking it, it's going to become more and more relevant. With the new buildings, as usual, we get some new unlocks as well. I'm interested in the max 8 population, so I think that's what we are going to look for next. And there we have our 240 wood done. We can also not add any more capacity to our fishing production. So that has reached its limit at this point. So we can actually put a little bit more workers into the wood production. Which means let's upgrade the woodcutter's hut. And our next mission is to reach 50 population. With adequate food and timber, our small community was growing quickly. It sure was. Really like how these animations kinda feel a little bit like old story tales and fairy tales of yours. It's really cute. There we go. So now we are producing a little bit more wood, which means that we should eventually be able to get the 250 that we need right there. You can see that the wood next to the camp also disappeared with that. So you will often see this where you are building, like in the early game, you get a basic building, and then as you continue further on, the buildings will grow eventually and end up in a completely different location. So our wood is now all the way up here in the northeastern part of our town. And producing significantly more wood as well. So that's really, really nice. In other words, we can now get some more research. I would like to have our extra accommodation done. And we could actually go +1 extra wood and stone production as well for some food. We're still close to our limit for the food, so just to make sure that we're not dropping any chances of getting more workers, we're just going to add some more food to this as well. Did we unlock the hunting cabin just yet? No, we have not unlocked the hunting cabin just yet. All right, so we're coming up on the 50 people that we need, so let's spend some valuable resources on some upgrade. We can get a bigger food storage. We're far from reaching our storage limit right now, but we might as well make good use out of it. We can also increase our wood storage. These are all quite cheap, so I don't see any reason to not do that. Our humble campsite could no longer support our growing community. We decided to replace it with a town square to unite our settlement and welcome new refugees. Build the town square and reach 100 population. That is our next step. I already know we're gonna get some hunting here very soon, but I don't remember how to get that. That is right here. All right, we're just gonna get this built right now then. We need a population anyway for the housing, and we can now see that most buildings have unique research. I've already shown you this. All of the buildings have their own research. +1 personal click power for all resource gathering. We'll get to that. And then gives 2% chance for a critical strike if we would like to have that as well. We're gonna need some stone before we can do that though. This is the hunting cabin, so the woods to the north holds a vast amount of game to hunt. And we can already do that, so let's get that going. That gives us a total of 72 housing available, and we can put way more people to work, which is super nice. Are we equal on this now? Very close to equal. So we're now producing 3.2 on the fishing for ourselves. And up here at the hunting, we're actually producing 4.3. So it's better for us to be hunting ourselves manually at this point than to go fishing. Which is a shame. I really like fishing. All right, can we finally get our crit chance? No, we need 250. I thought it was 150. Come on now. All right. Fine, we'll go a little bit further. There we go. So that's our chef's house research done. And that's everything that we can do for now. So next up, food storage. I think we already did. No, we did not. We can go further anyway then. Gifted leader and critical success we have done. Extra wood storage we have done. This one I think we have done. And this one we have done. So there's only the extra food storage if we would like to do some more. And the only thing that we need for that is a bunch of wood. Alright, so that's our food storage upgraded as well. We're really good on the food and research production at this point, but our actual food production is not that great. You can see that our production is just 0.4 compared to the consumption that we have. So we need more workers. And what we could do is we could go over here to our wood production, of course. We have 4 people doing wood at the moment. If I bring that down to 2, and then we'll just add them onto here instead. They will produce us 6.6 per minute, so that will give us a net change of 7, which is significantly better. I'm just gonna sit here and hold the hunting button for a little bit until we get enough food that we have our food security in a good position, so we can get a little bit more people trickling in here. We only have a 3.5 population growth per minute. That needs to be better. Alright, so I've been working my way up towards the food limit that we have right now, so we can have as small impact as possible on the population growth, but our growth is now hampered by our housing again. We could go ahead and upgrade our dwellings right here. That'll give us a lot more housing capacity. But I'm kind of thinking the fishing hut, because that will give us more food as well, and bigger storage. So we're probably gonna go with that. And look at that, even with the upgrade, we still maintain our food security, so things are looking pretty good. And we can upgrade our food storage even further too. But for that, we're gonna need gold, and we're gonna need, I'm not sure what these are. Maybe it's not gold, maybe it's coins. So coins and maybe melted iron or something like that. So this is further on in the future, I guess. It's not something we have access to right now. Instead, how about we upgrade our carpenter here? Get a little bit more good stuff, see what he is able to do. So that unlocks research and improved work areas, and it's really cheap. So let's get that going. Still keeps our food security at a good spot. Carpenter, what kind of research do you provide? You can get extra wood production. Sounds pretty good to me. Let's get that. We can get even more wood production once we get whatever that is. Out here we also have the quarry now, which means that we don't have to produce stone inside of our town anymore. And the cost for that is 1300 food. I wonder if that will be enough for us. I'm gonna guess we can still do that and not lose our food security. Yeah, we're actually okay-ish, I would say. Let's get rid of this research right here, and we have another worker that can go and do. We have 6 people now fishing, and you can see that there's more and more of them that pops up here. I would probably like to see all of the 6 actually fishing together. That would be really nice. Just to keep the consistency for it. Same thing with the Hunter's Lodge up here. Occasionally you see people. Here is one, for example, that is out hunting. Would be nice to see all 4 people out hunting. Or at least seeing them go back and forth in between town and have maybe half of them actively working all the time. That would be an interesting thing to see. Our quest log right now says get the town square and reach 100 population. We already have the housing capacity for the 100 people, and the town square will be removed from the camp. So it removes the camps. We unlock the iron mine, so that seems like what we are in requirements for at the moment. And then we unlock roads and 4,000 resource storage. But we need 3,000 food. We have that, but we're going to lose our food security if we do that. So maybe we will help out with a little bit of food production before we go there. Could I get some research to get more access? Yeah, I can. Okay, so if we do that, that will allow us to put another worker into here. And that will make us produce even more food. So let's see if we can get our food up closer to maybe 8, 9, maybe 10,000, something like that. Our current limit is at 14,000, so we have room. We have room. All right, I think the timing's perfect. We just hit the 100 population, and we just hit about the 8,500 in food storage. So we should be able to upgrade now without the risk of our food security. Even with the 3,000 cost in food, that should still leave us with around 6,000 at this point. So let's go ahead and do that, and it looks like my calculations are correct. Next up, with adequate food and timber, our small campsite had quickly grown into a thriving hamlet. Very open-ended, we now have whatever we would like to do available for us to do. What does roads do then? Follow a small path will be much easier when trekking through the wild wilderness. +1 extra to all resource gathering. Oh. That sounds pretty good, but I think we need the dwellings next, and they are significantly cheaper, so we can just get that right now. It's not going to impact us at all, other than giving us a lot more housing capacity. Okay, so looking at some research, they're usually quite cheap, so even if we don't need it right now, we can do a few of these. So let's get a little bit more woodworkers if needed in the future. We're still kinda starved on workers, so we're not gonna use them right now, but it's at least an option. We can get some more stone capacity. And also a little bit more stone workers as well. As long as we keep our food where we have food security, we do not have to worry about that. When it comes to the fishing situation, we still need the iron and the coins, but that's for a large improvement in food storage, and we just don't need that right now. In regards to hunting, nothing really new here. We have already done everything. And church we should probably build, actually. Let's take a look at what we need for a church. It's right here. And we have a lot of different things here. So if we build that, we need 2,000 wood still. So let's go up here and help these guys out a little bit with the wood production. Didn't take very much longer than that. So, quick build up with the church. We get one of those lovely little towns church places with a bunch of more people walking around. Gosh, this game is gorgeous, dude. I've been really enjoying this. One of those you can put on the second monitor and just kinda hang out for a while. It's really nice. We might as well build this once we have enough food security as well, which is not really just yet. We also can't add more food production to... we can. Fishing can still hold a little bit more workers. We can get even more production. Are we safe enough to burn 3,000 food right now? I think so. Just barely dropped down a little bit, but we still have our high bonus. So not an issue whatsoever. Those are some subtle roads, I will have to say. Not a lot of movement, but hey, they're getting there. They're getting there. Should we build an iron mine maybe? What do we need for that? Bit more food and a lot more wood. So let's help out with the lumber. Have I built this? Yes. Okay, adding the road actually makes it way more living. I think I take back my comments about there should be more people moving around. Clearly now they are all moving around. Maybe not the full 6 that we have working here at the hunting cabin, but definitely better than it was. Alright, one more worker available. Can we put that into fishing? No. Can we research something to improve that? Also no. Okay. Okay, I see where we're going. I see where we're going. That's not gonna happen. But we do probably have the money that we need for the iron mine now. So let's build that. And we can put a worker to the iron mine and... a bunch of them shows up. That's some dedication. One person gets a job and the whole town comes to help out. Love to see it. So, a little bit of research. More storage, max workers. Alright, so more or less the same as we have seen everywhere else. In regards to the blacksmith, we need a lot of iron for that. Okay. Is there anything that we can do to improve the capacity for our workers? already right now. We have the accommodations, everything there is done. I think that is probably our first step. Because I don't think anything here will give us what we need. So what we could do is this, I guess. If we go to the shop right here, we can get a little bit more happiness by purchasing this one. And now that we're at the 6,500 mark, we can go to our dwellings and we can upgrade our dwellings to have a little bit more housing capacity, allowing us to actually get above... Oh, what's happening here? I guess that's what you get for playing an early demo, huh? That's fine. A little bit of a graphical glitch there. I don't know what happened, but it seems okay. That should have unlocked a few new things. So we have the alchemist right here. Cost us 3,000 to build as well, and it unlocks the alchemy shop. Can we get any more workers in here? I did actually notice that something said farm as well. Is that down here? There's our farm. That sounds like a good way to make money or make more food, right? So if I go and build that for 10,000 wood, that will allow us to produce even more food, which will give us more workers. So put that into wood production, and let's get to 10,000. Oh, I just found a bunch of upgrades here. As our hamlet blossomed, so too did our problems. Before long, we encountered some violent creatures in the area, and it was decided we need guards to protect us. Build a guardhouse and train 5 guards. Oh, there is combat in this game. I did not expect that. That's fun. Unlocks Heaven's Blessing shop item plus 2 extra fishing production for 120 seconds. So these are the church upgrades. We never looked into those. We can get a better birth rate. Unlock soup kitchen policy, 10% happiness bonus, 10% food consumption. We need coins for that, though. We do not have any coins right now. Alright, where do we get the guard's house exactly? Is that here? I don't know. But our food is, or our wood is completely full here. So let's get our farm built. That was what we were working on. So let's get that done so we can actually start producing a little bit of food here. We're actually running low on dwellings as well, so that should probably be focused next. We're actually... Ooh, even our food is low. Alright. We're gonna slap in as much food production as we can then. Yeah, this game is really cool. For being a demo that is free on Steam, I can't imagine a better time to be alive than this. At least as a gamer, the rest of the world is in flames, but we always got free good games to play. So if you're interested in that, why don't you click that like button down below? And if you do that, I'll jump forward like a few hours, and I'll show you what it's like in the closer to mid to end part of the demo. So I'll see you there. Alright, so this is as far as we can get in the demo. As far as I'm able to tell, I don't think there's anything right here that I am still able to build. So based on that, could have missed something. I did miss the workshop first, but it seems like that also needs the taxes, which is not available in the demo just yet. We have the rope bridge right here, which is the first step to inform us the wish list. That is not available in the demo either. So yeah, this seems to be as far as you get. It's a couple of hours, probably, something like that. Of course, you can continue exploring the world and playing around with your city as you'd like after you're done as well, but you won't be able to progress any further than this. Overall, I think this has been a fairly good experience. There's a few things that I would like to see maybe improved a little bit. I do think that it would be nice to be able to click on one of these and somehow get an overview of how many we can actually put into this place. Because I don't know, we have 5 workers, but I don't know how many can actually work here. So it would be nice to have the opportunity to see that, for example. Another thing that would be nice to see is when we are in our overview right here with the research, Would be nice to be able to see maybe on the side like a little number of what we can unlock, or if we have something available to us. So a lot of these, for example, we don't have anything to unlock, so it makes sense that they're clear. But here, for example, we have something that we can unlock, it's just not available to us. And also, if we have something that we have the resources for, it would be nice to see some sort of notification that, hey, this tab, you actually have something that you can unlock stuff under. So that's maybe something that could be slightly improved. Otherwise, I think it's a gorgeous art style. Wow. Otherwise, I think it's a gorgeous art style. The pixel art works great. We're currently in battle down here, so every now and then you get attacked by different characters. I've seen skeletons, I've seen orcs. It started with goblins. So every now and then we get attacked by creatures, which we have to go into the town military guard here and actually build up. So this is where you will see a little bit more of the utilization of your food and iron resources. So I think they're moving in the right direction. It's definitely an interesting title. If you're interested to take a look yourself, then there will be a link in the description down below. And of course, a bunch of other links if you're interested in other Keanomy inspired things as well. That's gonna be it for me tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye bye.